What's up, YouTube? I'm Wel-Don. Welcome back to the channel, Wel-Don Tanks. So, welcome back to the fish room. Really excited for tonight's video. This is something we talked about in one of my recent live streams, and I want to show you one of the most industrial shelves that I think you can buy for your aquariums. All right, so if you've been following me on this journey of the fish rooms, if I can kind of pan you around here a little bit. Back behind me, we took out the 220 gallon, if you remember, and we added in the second husky rack. So that's the 4-foot husky rack. Excuse me. That is rated to hold 1,000 pounds per shelf. And that's 5,000 pounds total if you're using all the shelves that come with it. I'm only going to be utilizing 3 of the shelves for aquariums, but that kind of left this back wall of the fish room that I knew I wanted to do something with. I just couldn't exactly figure out what I wanted to do with it until I went to I was actually at Home Depot buying the husky rack that I found these. So check this out, right? This is how easy this is to actually dismantle this shelf, but then also how easy it is to install this shelf. So check this out. Literally, that's it. So what this is that in frame for you, hopefully? What this is called the Heavyweight Shelf Support System, and this is from Home Depot. Now, to get this entire setup that I'm personally using was around $80, so it's not terrible considering this can hold an insane amount of weight for the way that it's actually constructed and how this works. So there's it's a couple loose or separate pieces that matter that you piece together. But when I saw this, I knew this was going to be a perfect fit for this back wall of the fish room. And it would just be a great backdrop for the live streaming station. Allow me to add more tanks, but not take up room. Because one of the biggest things is you actually walk into the fish room is I don't have much clearance. So I needed to make sure that I could still bring equipment in, bring myself in, maybe a guest in, but then I didn't want to waste this space. So I found this. So these brackets that I'm using, they are 14 inches long. They didn't have anything, I think the next one they had was like an 8-inch long bracket, or the next shortest one. And I knew that I needed at least that 12-inch wide because I wanted to use like 20 longs up here. Even like 20 gallon. So I do have some specific tanks going up here, but this is something you could utilize and really customize to fit your needs. Let's say you have a small fish room. You know, you need to use your wall space accordingly. You have an area in your front entryway that you want to kind of put a nice looking display up, but you don't want it to be necessarily a stand. Utilize your wall space. I mean, this could be a garage application, a kitchen application. Like, there's so many different applications that I believe you could use this system for your aquariums and make it look nice. So this is a galvanized steel with a diamond plating imprint. I don't know, it kind of looks nice, but it is galvanized steel. So if you wanted to, and I mean, I'm keeping it the same color it came because it matches the rest of the husky racks, but if you wanted to, you could paint this white, you could paint this black. So you have options of what you want to do with this. Now, that was loud, I'm sorry. Now to start off here, get you in the proper frame here. So what we did here is there's this top piece that's the kind of the runner board, the runner rail. I will leave links for each part down in the description below to the Home Depot website. I'm going to try and find some Amazon links. They will be affiliate links. But I'm going to try and find something on Amazon if you don't have a Home Depot, if you're not in the US, or kind of something similar, right? So it's this header piece that's galvanized steel again that allowed me to drill into 3 studs along my wall. So I have 3 screws in this that are like, geez, I don't know, 2.5 inches, 3 inches long into a stud. And that already is applying, that's going to hold a lot of weight. Like if you look into the shear strength of a screw, that's going to hold an insane amount of weight. And what was nice is they actually sold a specific screw pack for this that came with different sizes and lengths of screw to allow for proper penetration to your studs, you know, past the width of all the steel brackets you're going to be using. Very well thought out system and not very expensive. So that's drilled into the studs. You do not need this piece to make this work, but I did it because it kind of completes it and adds extra strength to it. Then you actually get into what these are going to be called wall standards. Now, what's nice about this top piece has a lip. These wall standards, which is this kind of, we'll call them, I don't want to call them a bracket, but it's the wall support system that the bracket's connected into. They have a notch. Can I show you that? See if I can get you higher. Well, maybe, well, not lower, higher. There we go. Let's try it. So right here, there is this V notch actually cut into this steel that allows it to rest perfectly on that. So what that is allowing is ultimately just extra support as that notch is resting in this. This is bolted in or screwed into your studs. That's notched onto it. And then to go even further, this matched up perfectly. Oh, and they sell different lengths of this top piece. They sell different lengths of these, you know, the brackets going down, the wall support system. They sell different lengths of this. But this just matched perfectly with the area I'm having to work with. So, drilled into studs, connected on this V part, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 screws going down this support system. So I have 3 of these, 4 screws down each one, and they lined up perfectly with the studs. So I have not only the top piece screwed into the studs, the top piece supporting the wall bracket, and then 4 screws down this wall bracket, all into the stud. So already we're talking an insane amount of weight. And I think alone with this V connection, they say it's rated for over like 200 pounds of weight. But then you add in all the screws to this, we're now probably over 500 pounds this thing can support. And we're just talking one wall bracket. I have 3 of them. And the reason for that is that I'm gonna span a tank across this that's 36 inches long, and I wanted that 36-inch length, but I needed to make sure I had good support through on both sides in the center just to make sure we're safe. Now, let's get into the brackets we're using. So like I say, these are the 14-inch size brackets that I chose to use. I needed that at least that 12-inch depth there. So 14 just matched up to what I wanted to do. Now what's awesome about these, this bracket alone, one bracket, because it has, and you can, the shorter ones do not have this drop down L connection, but because of this L connection and the way it's actually gonna connect, you know, into each bracket here, each wall support, this is rated, this alone, one of these is rated to hold 250 pounds of weight. That's one of them. I'm going to have 3 across this. 250, 500, 750 pounds alone just on these support brackets. Then you got to go back into the screws, the connection up top with that V connection, everything, just how everything's connected. I guarantee you, each shelf that I put on this, so I have some wood I'm going to lay across this, I'll show you that here in a second. Once you combine all of that, each area is going to be the same. It's going to be like the same as a husky rack. You're going to be holding close to 1,000 pounds. And that's what I love about this system is it's it's modern, it's simple, it's minimal, and it can hold a lot of weight. So like I say, I'm going to have 3 spreading across, and I'm going to do a second shelf down below. I'm going to have a nice 22-gallon rimless tank up top here that's going to be sponsored by Houston Manzanita. And then we're going to have a kind of probably just a breeding grow out 20-gallon tank below that. So nice display tank accompanied by some decent breeding setup. But it's just, I'm so happy that I have this because now it just gives me more versatility to my fish room in an area that I needed, you know, a minimalistic design to support my fish and the aquariums in that. And it's going to allow me really nicely. I've already planned it out, and I have some airline coming across and dropping down. So everything's just matched up perfectly. But let me show you the wood pieces I have planned out for this and how those are going to fit on this. Okay, so it may be kind of difficult to see just with the wide angle lens I'm using. But again, so 1, 2, 3. And this isn't quite 36 inches across. I think it's actually, the way I have it set up, just where my studs were, I'm 32.5 inches full support across. So what I did though, was I purchased some more just common pine board, kind of a project board from Home Depot. And you can find this anywhere. It's the same type of material that we used on this small nano floating shelf where we used the metal pipe and that nature. And I thought about doing that same setup with the piping, but this is just such a sweet thing that came up. I really wanted to try it. So now with this board laid across, it's gonna overhang maybe roughly 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of overhang on either side. I'm not worried about it because this board is actually 3/4 inches thick. So again, plenty of weight, plenty of support. This board is cut to 36 inches long. It is 12 inches wide. That's how it came. So it will support everything I need it to. And what's nice too is with these rails on the wall, no matter if you push this all the way back, you still have room to run cords behind these shelves. So I'm still debating if I want to push this all the way back or if I want to pull the wood to match out to the front of it. So we'll see what we do with that. But let me show you something else though. So underneath each bracket, there are 2 screw holes. And what's nice is that they sell the specific screw pack for this, which I bought. So they have, proper size screws that have the length to go through each screw hole into the wood you're going to use for a shelf. So not only am I going to have all the support system of the shelf itself, now I get support from the wood. Now I get support from more screws going into the shelf to keep everything. As you can tell, kind of right now, like things kind of rattle, they kind of shake. As soon as I screw all this together, boom, done. This is one of the coolest shelves I've ever done. So really hope this helps somebody. So I have a second shelf right below this. Let's see if I can pan you down or even scoot you down really quick. Not quite. All right, so I'm gonna have 2 shelves. Just like that. Like, that's literally what this is gonna be. So I'm gonna be able to have like another 20 long down here. And then what's nice too is because of these L systems, you can run cords behind here. So it's still set up in a way of like, yeah, you're gonna see some cords, yeah, you may see some airline, but you have ways to tuck it up underneath. Like because of the space I have here, and I'm only using a 45-inch wall standard. I think they sell them up to like 6 feet long. So you could really do like 3 shelves of aquariums on this if you wanted to. Let's say you have a bunch of bettas and you want to make a betta barracks or a betta rack. Here's a very simplistic, easy way to do that without getting complicated on building your own. But it gives you enough area. You can run PVC pipe through here for airlines. You can run pipe through here for water lines. So it's just the possibilities with this are absolutely endless. So very excited to have this up. Very, very excited to have this started and going and finished. So I'm just gonna screw these in tonight, and then tomorrow we're gonna come back down and get tanks on these because we are cooking on the fish room build now. So thank you everybody for joining me. I hope this system helps. So leave me a comment down below if you would be interested in trying something like this. Have you done something like this? Have you seen this before? So always enjoy reading your comments, and you guys, thank you to everyone for the support on the channel. I cannot thank you enough. So leave me a like, share this video out. The more you do, the like button, the more we get this video shared out, YouTube suggested, all that jazz. But we will see you guys on the next one. Hope everyone's safe. Have a good night. Yeah, we'll see you on the next one.